Hey there, welcome back to another video. And in this video, we'll be talking about financial forecasting and budgeting. So, we'll go for capital.com and the key differences between financial forecasting and budgeting. So, to start off the video, financial forecasting and budgeting are both important. For businesses, executive and analysts look at them to chart a course for a business. Both offer the financial insights that drive decision making. So anyone with stake in corporate growth will keep a close eye on forecast and budget numbers. Financial forecasting is what some analysts would call frontline data that provides a foundation for other kinds of reports. It is a direct window into what's happening with the business in this present and what's likely to happen in the near future. A budget is many ways a long-term analysis. People talk about budget numbers directing future allocations. The budget can be a guide to what is happening financially within the business year to year. If you are trying to manage a business in both short-term and long-term ways, so you may be asking how these two processes are different. We'll go into the nuts and bolts of how to perform both of these processes. Financial forecasting and budgeting will cover a lot of the differences in planning goals as well as the how to do that so important for busy executives and business leaders. Analysts use quantitative and qualitative financial forecasting generally focuses on revenues and expenses that are direct projections of current hard numbers. A budget by contrast is a detailed representation of financial results for a given time frame. Usually, a year plan is often used to main kinds of forecasting. One is called qualitative forecasting, another is called quantitative forecasting. The qualitative approach uses what some called as soft data to make projections. The quantitative approach uses actual hard data about current operations, including what's costing the business money, where the business is profiting at a given time, which department or cost centers may be more successful than others. Then the planners use the data to project out into the future quarters. They may, for example, see a spike in sales. Then, looking at longer term data, stakeholders can consider whether the evidence shows that the increased levels will continue or whether it's more likely that the sales spike is a fluke and that sales will return to prior levels. The same type of analysis helps with expenses too. Forecasting and budgeting can show where higher prices or other factors required to business response. Financial forecast updated quarterly, budgets updated annually. Financial forecast tends to be updated monthly or quarterly. Budgets are updated once a year, and leadership often spends a lot of time looking at the annual budget throughout that year. In that way, the annual budget keeps driving long-term progress, but doesn't provide for short-term changes and projections. It is an annual document in most companies and offices. The forecast, on the other hand, is something that does get updated more frequently, and the changes with time. That's one reason that leaders are less likely to use forecasting to chart a course of a business and more likely to use a developed annual budget. Financial forecast and budgets impact on operations. Think about this as evaluating a forecasting and budgeting process. A financial forecast provide a sort of short-term steering for analysis. They don't often directly impact things like performance of or allocations. Budgets are more likely to make this impact because business leaders see them as an authoritative guide. Another way to look at this is that financial forecasting report is a type of input for budget work. So you do the short term forecasting, you plug it into the budget numbers, and then the budget numbers represent the final year. That's going to be determine things like bonuses or rewards for performance. Other impacts may include business cutting cost in various departments, business allocating future revenue based on budget projections, business talking on specific debt in order to balance a budget, business deferring debt, consolidating debt, or refinancing in order to help with the budget numbers. Financial forecasting and budgeting, the bottom line. There's another way to think about the difference between forecast that operates as inputs and budgets that are hard annual documents serving as a framework for operations. The idea is that the budget, after taking into account various projections will determine many business outcomes. People will look back at the budget as it is narrative.